Welcome to the English channel, Pass with Flying Colors with Anjani ma'am. As you know all very well, up to now we studied different parts of speech in English language. Today's topic is a bit different as CTET exam is approaching. So today we will study the important components of a language that is important for CTET, HTET, KVS, DSSB exam. So these are some units of language which you should know. Actually only the meaning of these words come in the exam. From this point of view we will study these words. First of them is phoneme, second is phonetics, third is phonetic transcription, fourth morphemes, fifth lexical morphemes, sixth functional morpheme, seven anagram and eighth semantics. So one by one we will see the details of these words, how they appear in the sentences, what kind of words they are, how we can recognize them in objective type of questions. First of all, first important component of language is phoneme. Phoneme means, as you know very well, phone means hearing, sound. It is related to sound. It is the smallest unit of sound. भाषा की सबसे छोटी इकाई जो है वो phoneme है. There are total 44 phonemes in English language, like vowel है, consonants है, diphthongs है, triphthongs है. So we can know the phoneme by this word. Actually each alphabet in English language independently doesn't solve any purpose. It means अगर H है, we don't know मीनिंग क्या होगा, A अलग से स्टैंड नहीं कर सकता, T अलग से स्टैंड नहीं करता, बट इफ वी ज्वाइन ऑल दीज वर्ड इट बिकम्स phoneme. Hat, H is a different phoneme, A is a different phoneme, T is a different phoneme. There are three phonemes in this word. So this is the phoneme, and phoneme it distinguished one word from another. Now we know very well when these three alphabets are collected in one word, it becomes a complete meaningful word, that is hat. So there are three phonemes in this word. Let's see the second word, that is phonetics. Second component of language is phonetics. It deals with the production, transmission and reception of speech. It means whenever we speak, how the words are produced, how they are transmitted from one person to another, how we receive that speech. Second characteristic of this phonetics is we use different organs of speech like mouth, throat, लंग्स, टीथ. कुछ वर्ड्स माउथ से बोले जाते हैं, कुछ थ्रोट से, कुछ टीथ से, कुछ लंग से. सो दिस इज द स्टडी वी डू इन फोनेटिक्स. थर्ड, देयर आर थ्री टाइप्स ऑफ फोनेटिक्स. आपके पास फुल डिटेल में इसका क्वेश्चन नहीं आता, ओनली 1 मार्क क्वेश्चन आएगा. तो इन 1 मार्क में फर्स्ट मार्क का ये हो गया, सेकंड मार्क्स का ये हो गया, थर्ड का ये हो गया. नाउ लेट्स सी द 3 टाइप्स ऑफ फोनेटिक्स. There are 3 types of phonetics. First one articulatory, second one auditory and the third one is acoustic. You just have to remember the definition to choose the different options from the question. There are 3 types of phonetics. First one articulatory, second one auditory and the third one is acoustic. You just have to remember the names of the 3 types and then the definition of these 3 types. First of all, there is articulatory. It means how sounds are produced. It means how the vocal tract adjusts to make different speech sounds. Second is auditory. It examines the perception of speech sound. इसका मतलब how people perceive the sounds. This system studies that. Third one is acoustic. It studies the physical properties of sound. So you will have objective type of questions with the different options. You have to select the definition. So remember the definition so that you can very well know about the articulatory, auditory and acoustic, 3 types of the phonetics. Third important component of language is phonetic transcription. Let's see the definition of phonetic transcription. It means the method of representing speech sounds in a writing system called phonetic alphabet. इसका मतलब जब भी किसी स्पीच की जो साउंड है उसको जो लिखने का सिस्टम है, that is called phonetic transcription. You should know the 1 mark question like how many sounds are there in English language? 44 sounds. How many pure vowels are there? 12 pure vowels. How many consonants are there? 24 consonants. Further, we can divide the pure vowels into two types, monophthongs, diphthongs. Mono means you know very well one, it means only one vowel sound is there. Diphthongs means two vowel sounds are there. So let's see the monophthongs and diphthongs. As I told, monophthong means one vowel sound, diphthongs means two vowel sounds. In monophthong, we have the word teeth. In teeth, this is the sound of th, this is the sound of e. In Hindi, it is called badi e. E for ik, yani, t for t. In this, we have only one vowel sound, that is called e. Second word is mad. In this word, we have one, yani single vowel sound, that is a. In the same way, diphthongs, we have two vowel sounds. First word is cake, cake. It means this is two vowel sounds. Ear, ear. It means two vowel sounds are there, so it becomes diphthongs. Let's see the fourth important component of language, that is morphemes. This is very important word from the point of view of CTET, HTET, KVS and different exams. Definition of this word can come, and in this definition two things you have to remember. First of all, its definition is that it is a meaningful linguistic unit that cannot be divided into smaller meaningful parts. It means if a word has its own meaning and if we will further divide it into different parts, then meaningless remainder will come. So don't divide it. Let's see the example. Example is, first word is hat. Hat has a meaning. Second word is man. Man has also meaning. But if we divide it, it becomes h and it becomes at. At means we know very well preposition. Preposition has its meaning, but without using it in a sentence, it is meaningless. H also meaningless phoneme है, कोई meaning नहीं है until or unless we unite them together in the word, it becomes hat. In the same way, we can't divide m and n. Same article an will come. We can't use this word alone. M, we can't use this word alone. It means morpheme means the full word has a meaning, but if we'll divide it in further, the remainder comes, that remainder will be meaningless. So remember the definition of morpheme with this example. Fifth important component of the language from the point of view of competitive exam is lexical morpheme. What is lexical morpheme? Lexical morphemes are those which carry meaning or content. It means these words have a separate meaning. They can stand independently. They are usually called nouns, adjectives or adverbs. Like car. We know car has its own meaning. Boy has its own meaning. Ugly adjectives है own meaning. Brave इसका भी अपना एक meaning है. It means lexical morphemes have content or the meaning. They can stand alone. Sixth important component of language is functional morphemes. Actually, it is the totally opposite of lexical morphemes. Earlier we studied lexical morphemes, which means nouns, adjectives, adverbs that stand independently, they have a meaning. But in functional morphemes, it simply modifies the meaning of a word rather than supplying the root meaning. It means we can't use functional morphemes without sentences. For example, conjunctions are there, as if hai, but hai, still hai, yet hai, nevertheless hai. Prepositions are there, at hai, on hai, above hai, on, under hai. Articles an है, a है, da है. Pronouns this है, that है, those है. Until or unless we don't use any noun, adjective, adverb or in sentences, we can't use conjunctions, prepositions, articles or pronouns independently. That's why they become functional morphemes. Seventh important component of language is anagram. It means a noun, word, phrase or sentence formed from another by rearranging its letters. It means कोई भी ऐसा एक word हो, whether it is a noun or a phrase, we can form another word from that noun, word or phrase. It can be a sentence, and from that sentence we can form another sentence by using the same letters and by rearranging them. Secondly, it is formed by using exactly the same letters of the original word. So how it happens, let's see the example. First word is the earthquakes. If we rearrange the words of these letters, it becomes the anagram. Anagram of it is the queer shakes. We have used the same alphabets but in different positions to make another word. Second word is charm, charm. If we rearrange these words, it becomes march. So we formed another word from it. It becomes anagram of charm. School, master. And if we rearrange these words, it becomes the classroom. So it is the anagram of the school master. Last important component of language is, that is 8th one, semantics. It is the vast topic of linguistics. It means the linguistic study of meaning, but you don't need to go into detail, as in any competitive exam just the definitions come. So that's why you have to remember the definition, like it is connected with the meanings of the words. Words के meaning से connected है. Secondly, people can absolutely interpret words differently. It means same word can have different meaning according to the different people. A word has many possible meanings. एक ही word के बहुत सारे possible meanings हैं. Figurative हो सकते हैं ये वाले meaning, like figure of speech में जब हम कुछ करते हैं अलग meaning है. Rhetorical devices में इसका meaning अलग से लेते हैं. I can just make it simple by giving you the example of the word crash. Crash can mean auto accident. It can also mean drop in the stock market. It can also mean to attend a party without being invited. So crash, this is the word which has different semantic meanings according to the need of the people. In the same word, in the same way, you can say that there is word heart. Heart means which supplies blood through the body, but in connotative sense it doesn't mean that. It means love or heartache. So it depends upon us how we connect ourselves with the same word. So different words have different semantic meanings according to their need. So we have seen different components of language according to the competitive examination point of view. I hope you have understood well. Kindly subscribe, like and share. Thank you.